Hello, hello, and welcome back to Guidance in Recovery, your sobriety your sobriety journey podcast with your host Keegan. Today we are joined by a woman who has walked through the fire and returned with a torch to light the way for others. Gretchen Shozer is a suicide attempt survivor, a dedicated advocate for the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, and she's an award-winning podcast co-host, proving that the hero's journey doesn't have to have a deadline. She founded her own tech wellness company at age 61, and she's here to show us how vulnerability is actually the ultimate superpower and what we can do to help others. So, Gretchen, it's wonderful to have you back on the show,
Thank you so much for having me.
of course. And I just got to ask right off the bat, what myth is it that you like to help bust whenever you're dealing with people's wellness and mental health space or the shit that goes on in our heads?
The myth I want to bust is that extroverts do get depressed.
Ooh.
I am a 100% true extrovert and an empath, and nobody knew how depressed I was.
Mm.
Absolutely nobody knew because people didn't ask the right questions.
Oh.
People didn't realize that, I was hiding and that life is difficult. But the problem is that as extroverts, we all wear this really happy-go-lucky mask,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't show the typical signs of depression.
Oof.
And so, without having the right information at their fingertips, people
Mm-hmm.
don't even know what is going on in our own lives.
Oof. Yeah, that's a really good myth to bust because I think you're spot on. If you don't know what to look for in someone or recognize it maybe even in yourself, what can you do about that, right? So why don't we explore that? Like what separates a like extroverted person that's being depressed versus the typical depression like in clinical stuff?
Okay, so, think of me as an extrovert. I
Mm-hmm.
always got in trouble for, talking in class, being
Uh-huh.
like the class clown. At work, I was the person that everybody came to. I was the problem solver.
Mm-hmm.
But all those times, I would show up with a smile on my face,
Mm-hmm.
and people would like assume that everything was fine with me,
Mm-hmm.
but they wouldn't ask like they would ask very like short questions like, "How are you doing?" Okay, my typical response would be, I'm living the dream. But
Oof.
in my head, I wasn't living the dream because in my head, all I wanted to do was be done.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a great way to like check in on your extroverted friends and be like, hey, you've been doing a lot lately for everyone, but how are you actually doing?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Take that time to like ask that question where we actually have to answer you
Mm. Oof.
because 9 times out of 10, we're going to tell you everything is just fine.
Oh.
And then like you also need to not just talk to the person, but you need to notice what they're doing. Like,
Okay.
are they not being as socially active as they used to be?
Mm-hmm.
Is our humor a little bit darker? I mean, I know that my humor got super dark.
Uh-huh.
Canceling plans at the last minute. Before
Mm.
my depression, I would like go and do everything, but once I got super depressed, I just kind of checked out, but nobody realized it. Because
Huh.
they didn't think anything was wrong,
Yeah. Okay.
and
And
I was not the fun one.
then here's a question though. It's like, do you feel like you kind of brought that on yourself because you wore the mask all the time? Or do you think that society just has a bad habit of really not seeming like they actually care about other people?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, for
Okay.
me, like I couldn't figure out what was going on with me. I
Mm-hmm.
was 59 and a half at the time. I'd never felt that way before.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of really horrible things happen in a really short period of time.
Okay.
And so for part of me, I felt shame and I
Mm.
felt weak because I couldn't fix myself, but I didn't understand what was going on. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find my voice. So I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I wanted to burden anybody with what was going on with me because as an empath, I was too busy taking care of everybody else's shit and not
Yeah.
taking care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom line was that was it. I didn't take care of me. I took
Mm-hmm.
care of everybody else. Everybody else was good. They had some place to cry. They had some place to vent. Me, I just kept shoving it down until it absolutely had zero place to go.
Mm, okay. Oof.
And in society, you know, here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
As we were going through school, none of us took a mental health class. None of
No.
us.
No.
Okay, so no, people don't know how to become emotionally available. They don't know how to become empathetic. Their emotional intelligence, based on however they grew up or
Mm-hmm.
where whatever job they look, it all depends on those things. But as a society, like we need to start checking in on people more often.
Yeah.
Especially now, the world is literally on fire.
Yeah.
And if you have friends out there that are a little checked out, whether an introvert or an extrovert, check in on them. I started a Sunday check in with text messages. So I reach out to
Hmm.
people via text on Sundays with a message. And they don't have to answer me back, but if they can send me like a little heart or a flower and just let me know that they're doing okay,
Mm-hmm.
at least people feel seen.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of what's going on in the world is people want to feel seen and feel
Mm-hmm.
heard
Yeah.
and feel validated. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I got all those things. I did feel seen. I did feel validated, but I was just so damn depressed. And like it was really like it was the hardest time of my life because I didn't want to bring anybody else down.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot going on in my personal life and my work life at that same time. And I just think that if people had maybe asked a little bit more pointed questions or,
Mm-hmm.
just checked in on me a little bit more frequently,
Mm-hmm.
they may have been able to pick it up. But,
Mm.
if you're an extrovert out there, can I just tell you, take that damn mask off? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't do you any good. It hurts you more than it helps you.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I mean, you bring up a good point though. And first of all, I just want to say thank you for making it through all of that and for spreading that kind of message and even doing that Sunday check-in thing because that's something that I've tried to kind of do in the past, but I think I'm going to start doing it actually like for real, a lot more like invested in it because it was one of those things that reaching out to people that I've not talked to in a long time, it's always kind of like, I wonder if they're like hopefully still alive. I need to check on that. But whenever it comes to like wearing that mask and having people ask you those kind of pointed questions, do you think that had someone asked you the right question at the right time, that it like the floodgate would have broke and you just would have had the breakdown before you got to thinking about ending it all?
I think so.
You think so?
But I think that people were trying to also be a little tender with me at that same time because I had
Mm,
also made a huge career decision. I was taking an early retirement from work,
yeah.
and that after 15 years at the same company,
Mm-hmm.
I was hurting in ways that people didn't really understand.
Yeah.
This goes out to the people that are thinking about retiring, or if you're a manager and somebody in your company is retiring, I know, maybe spend a little extra time with them because I will tell you one of the biggest hits to me is they they didn't slowly take stuff away from me. It was pretty abrupt. And
Ugh.
so I signed my paperwork in October. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't go out until April. But all my job, all my stuff that I would do day in and day out was being slowly taken away from me.
Mm.
And like if you have 8 hours a day to sit around and not do shit, I mean, it starts to eat at you because
Yeah.
for me, like I'm highly productive. I'm the go-to person. I'm a subject matter expert in my field,
Mm-hmm.
and to wake up every morning and realize that you don't have shit to do all day,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of depressing.
Yeah, kind of like your purpose got stolen away from you, and like there's not really anything you can do about it, huh?
Yeah, and like I would do things that were so out of character for me, like incredibly out of character. If you want to listen to a really messed up episode of the podcast, and this was like 3 weeks prior to me trying to take my life, go
Mm.
listen to season 1, episode 3. It is the most fucked up trip to New York City. It's the drunkest I've ever gotten in my entire life,
Oh
like
boy.
blackout drunk. I broke my
Oof.
nose. I lost my phone in an Uber. I had
Mm.
taken Uber to Brooklyn in the middle of the night. It it was messed up, but like people still didn't like see that. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
see that side of me because they're so used to see me be the life of the party and be fun and
Mm-hmm.
answer questions, even though in the back of my head I was like, just go the fuck away, because like I don't want to deal with you either. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to deal with the voices in my head. I don't want to deal with the shit that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I didn't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
And that call to 988, not only did it save my life, but it opened up a whole shitload of things that like I just needed to get out. And like
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people, talk therapy may not work for them. Talk therapy has worked for me. Thankfully, I have the same therapist
Uh-huh.
I had 3 years ago. Wasn't easy. I had to speed date them to get the right one.
Yeah.
Um, because not all therapists are made of the same material. But
Nope.
um, that's what helped me, and that helped me to open up and become more of an advocate for mental health. Because if it
Mm-hmm.
can happen to me, it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And, when I finally opened up onto social media, people were afraid. They were
Mm.
terrified because they didn't recognize the signs.
Mm.
And they, for me, like life of the party, love to laugh, love to play.
Mm-hmm.
It was heartbreaking for them that they didn't realize that something was terribly wrong with me.
Mm. Yeah.
And and that, that makes people really think about like what could we do better?
Mm-hmm.
And other things is like if an extrovert and they're not in a fun mood, it's okay for them to say no. That's called boundaries. Okay.
Yeah.
Boundaries are like really important to us.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Yep.
really learn about them until I was, almost 60, but hey, we're good. We learned. And like another thing is like if we come to you and we want to have a really deep conversation
Mm-hmm.
or we just need a vent, 9 times out of 10, we just need you to listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be like give me your Sunday sermon. Okay. A lot of times it's just us wanting to air air out what's going on in our head, vent, kind of get it off our chest.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want advice, we're going to ask you for advice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like don't be an armchair therapist, because it's like being a Monday, a
Mm-hmm.
quarterback on a what is that, the Monday morning quarterback. Don't
Oh.
don't try and don't force a conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Don't try to fix everyone's problems. It's kind of like calling a plumber for your roof that started leaking. Like
Yeah,
might both include water, but plumbing and roofing is not the same thing.
it's not the same thing. And like if you're in like a social moment, maybe a work gathering or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you're really good friends with this person, and you notice that they're not acting the way that they normally would, maybe
Mm-hmm.
pull them to the side and say, "Hey, is there something I can help you with? You're not your normal self."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, most people, because we, I will say it for myself. I I got mad when people ask me like, "What can I do for you?" I'm like, "How about leave me the fuck alone?" Okay,
Yeah.
that's that's what you can do. Is like leave me
Uh-huh.
the fuck alone. But as I started to get better
Mm-hmm.
after lots and lots and lots of therapy, I'm way more open about how I feel. So if
Okay.
I'm down, people know where I sit down.
Mm.
I don't hide behind a keyboard. I don't hide behind the computer. I don't hide behind my microphone. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not happy, people are gonna know. And it's made me feel better because I could actually talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the best things you can do is just be consistent in checking
Okay.
in with them.
Mm.
Don't make it intense. Don't make it all weird and shit. Just, be consistent with your check-ins, kind of like with
Uh-huh.
my Sunday check-ins. Because consistency builds safety.
Mm.
If we feel safe with you, we're going to open up to you.
Yeah.
But for
Okay.
people out there that don't have somebody to talk to, please, 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 if you are in crisis, pick up the phone and call 988.
Mm-hmm.
I am telling you, they are trained, they are compassionate, they're helpful, and they'll get you to the person that can help you the most.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you for bringing up that 988 because it's super important. I hope a lot of people actually utilize it. And I mean, with the suicide rates and everything lately, it's just one of those things that I don't know if 988 could expand fast enough either. But I hope that everyone gets taken care of as if they were their own person. And it sounds like that's
Yeah.
exactly what they do. So,
And, as I was coming out of my fog,
mm,
more and more people reached out to me because
yeah.
now they didn't feel so terrified and alone in their own journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really part of why we started the podcast. It's because we
Mm-hmm.
want to normalize these conversations. If I could have a mental health breakdown at 59 and a half,
Mm-hmm.
it can happen to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And it's scary, uh, because I mean, after 59 and a half years, you'd think that you'd have a handle on life, right?
yeah, you would think. But like, no, nobody teaches you about the mental shit that creeps up on you, right? They don't
Yeah.
teach you about brain chemicals that are all fucking messed up. They don't teach you how to how to how to set boundaries, right? That's
Hmm.
something that I had to actually listen to podcasts, and we've interviewed tons of like boundary coaches and things,
Uh-huh.
and as you listen to these people, shit starts to click. And you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, wow, why the fuck didn't I learn that like 2,500,000 years ago?
Uh-huh.
But I want people to know that it's okay to ask for help. It
Mm.
really is, and there's no shame, there's no weakness in it. And
Yeah.
that's what I felt. I felt shame and weakness because I couldn't fix myself.
Mm.
Here's somebody who can like fix a lot of stuff, right?
Mm.
When it
Yeah.
comes to like tech stuff and things like that, I can fix that. I can help fix people. I'm always somebody's shoulder to cry on, but self-care and self-love, they're not just like little code words, okay? It's not like a gimmick saying. Like
Yeah.
if you are not fucking taking care of yourself, you absolutely cannot take care of anybody else. You may think you're
No.
doing a great job of it, but at the end of the day, you're just hurting yourself because if
Mm-hmm.
you're an empath, you're taking on more and more shit that
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be dealing with, okay? Like
No.
deal with your own crap first before you start piling on.
Yeah.
And if you have friends out there that are like that like to pile on and pile on and pile on and pile on, I don't know, maybe check them out because they're probably piling on so they don't have to deal with all that crazy that's going on in their head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point because I was right there too. I would definitely help out other people before helping out myself because it was like, yeah, no, no, I'm not going to go down that scary closet. We're going to go over to this person's basement and help them clean it out, and then we'll just take some of their belongings and toss it in mine and just call it good. But it was not that way.
It's not that way because it starts to weigh on you for after a while,
Hmm.
and then everything starts to come to light.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm thankful for my journey because
Yeah.
it's taught me a lot. Like,
Hmm.
could I go through that again? Probably I don't ever want to go through that again. I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm super open and I like really stick with my therapy and I stick with the things that are important to me. But
Hmm.
I'm always really good about checking in on people
Uh-huh.
because, you know, Keegan and I both said, the world right now is shitty.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that love is greater than hate.
Hmm.
So if you love your friends enough, reach out to them.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're doing okay. I don't care if they're introverted, extroverted, a combination of both. Check in on your people
Hmm.
because things are really tough right now and the suicide rates are through the roof and people are they're just sad.
Yeah.
It's a really depressing time right now for so many people and
Hmm.
kindness goes a really long way. It costs you nothing to be nice.
No.
Absolutely nothing to be nice. But if you
Nope.
don't have anything nice to say, maybe don't fucking say anything at all.
Yeah.
Like walk away, mind your own business. Like
Hmm.
because you absolutely have no idea what's going on inside of our lives because you're
Mm.
not walking in our shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really hard to be able to say something sometimes. And I mean, so one of the things that you mentioned earlier was like checking up on someone or your extroverted friends and stuff. So we want to make sure to be compassionate and kind to them whenever we check up on them. But I mean, there's also that fear of like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I piss them off? Because usually they don't like people asking the deeper questions. So, how would you suggest someone actually get the chutzpah to ask that friend, like, "Hey, are you actually doing okay?" What is the question that you would think would have broke the ice for you and might help someone else?
A question that would have helped me is, and it was stated, I stated it earlier, is I've seen you have a lot on your plate right now,
Mm,
and you're taking on other people's stuff. But how are you actually doing? But there's a key, something super key to this. You need to build trust with them.
mm,
So, consistently checking in on them,
mm-hmm.
especially if it's somebody you work with, because you see them, at least 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Check in on them. Say, hey, like, why'd you take that project on? I mean, like, you have all this other stuff going on. Is there something else going on that
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to maybe not deal with, or
Mm,
are you trying to like numb your mind? I mean,
yeah.
that's what I did. I just took on more and more stuff until I was like, fuck, I don't care if any of this gets done. Y'all, I can go do this yourself because I'm fucking done. But you know, there's when we are unpacking on you,
Mm-hmm.
don't don't play armchair therapist.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
listen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that really is like a great way. And if you're like remote workers and you can't go and sit at their desk and bullshit for 20 minutes, send them a text, call them,
Mm.
send them a funny meme. Okay, because I'm telling you, laughter. My two healers are laughter and sharing my story.
Yeah.
So if you can laugh for even 20 minutes a day, it can actually turn those circumstances around. Because
Hmm.
what happens when you laugh is it gets rid of that cortisol, right?
Huh.
And when you're all depressed and shit, that cortisol sits in your stomach and it's like, hey, fuck you. I hope you have a shitty day. But if you start your day with like something funny, like I
Uh-huh.
have been watching these messed up raccoon videos. Okay, I will sit and laugh at them for 20 minutes and then I feel bad for about 5 minutes because now they just destroyed somebody's property. But it's funny as shit, right? So, like, remember to laugh. Like,
Uh-huh.
even when you're angry and mad and sad and all those things, remember to laugh.
Yeah.
And also make sure you're finding some kind of joy in your day because
Mm.
joy is intentional.
Yeah.
But joy helps you deal with all the other crap that's going on around us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the other thing is like, don't watch the fucking news. Just don't.
No.
Like, don't for your own mental health. Just don't watch the news. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I trained my Chat GPT to give me the top 10 headlines of the day, but make them
Uh-huh.
funny, even if they're not funny. Just make them funny. I mean, it actually works, right? And just understand that even though extroverts seem to be the life of the party and seem to have all their shit together, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we like fake it till we make it. Like we
Mm.
put on that big old happy smile, like, yeah, I'm great, or I'm living the dream. Don't give me these scissors because I'm probably gonna stab you. But maybe don't ask me another damn question. But
Uh-huh.
there's nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
Um, our brains get messed up when they get too much, when they get information overload, and
Mm.
that's what happened. I got information overload, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't at the time I didn't have an outlet for that overload because I wasn't talking to anybody and I kept it all inside my stomach, and I was just getting madder and madder and madder every day. But
Mm.
You don't want to be mad every day, right? And
Nope.
it's not good for your physical health. It's not good for your mental health.
Mm-mm.
Start opening up because part of that journey is us,
Mm-hmm.
the extroverts of the world, opening up and saying, "I'm not okay."
Mm. Yeah.
And as scary and tough as that is, it's probably the best conversation you'll ever have with that person that you think wants to hear needs to hear that message.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it is hard to sit there and open up like that, because kind of like yourself, I've never wanted to really be the Debbie Downer or the negative Drew, whatever. And it can be one of those things that it's kind of like, well, why does that have to revolve around me? Like, I don't like I don't know. It's so hard to open up sometimes, but I was also in that kind of childhood where it was like opening up and talking about that was a bad thing. But
Yeah.
and I also learned very quickly that kids like growing up in middle school, high school, a lot of them didn't really want to hear all that. So I pushed a lot of them away because I would sit there and be like, "Hey, yeah, this is what's going on." They were like, "Okay, we're not a therapist," kind of back away thing. But
But part of that goes back to like what we should be teaching in school, right?
hmm yep.
Is how to identify these, kids that are going through something really horrible
Mm,
and they're either, fighting back or they are shell shocked and you're like, sitting in the corner and rocking back and forth, or they have
mm,
anger issues. But,
hmm
we need to start, you need to start at home. You need to start
yeah,
with your kids and let them know it's okay to talk about this.
yeah,
You need to let adults know that, like my age, it's okay to talk about it. There is absolutely no shame, and you are not weak because you need help. Okay,
mm-mm,
listen, we are not perfect humans.
nope,
Nobody's perfect, and if you think you are wrong. Um,
yeah,
we we manage our emotions differently, but
mm-hmm,
we're all kind of the same. I don't care if you're extrovert, introvert, purple,
mm-hmm,
green, yellow. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you live.
yeah,
We all deal with this, but it's in how you deal with it and how your
mm-hmm,
circumstances are that could help you get to that next minute, that next
yeah,
day, that next hour.
mm-hmm.
That was that call to 988, and I'm thankful I made that call. So grateful to be alive, like every single day.
Yeah. I'm super glad and grateful that you are as well because I mean, we get to have this kind of conversation. You're helping people by the hundreds and thousands actually hear conversations that will make them go like, "Huh, why didn't I think of that?" Or maybe that's a really good idea and I should try that too, And so, I mean, here's a question for you. In your whole like healing journey, your recovery journey of sorts, now whenever thinking back to before you started, whenever you were in a sour mood and someone tried to get you to laugh or like whatever, or you could feel your attitude changing, like you wanted to like be a little bit happy. Did you hold on to that anger? Like, no, I need to hold on to this. Like, I need to still be angry for whatever reason, even though someone's showing you a raccoon video and you're like, God, that's so fucking funny, but I'm not going to laugh. And
Yeah,
do you?
that was me, 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I'd be like, you know what? Nobody's gonna see me be mad. Nobody.
Mm,
Like I fucking want to stab you with a pair of scissors right now. But I would like laugh through that pain. But as
mm,
it got harder and harder and harder,
mm-hmm.
I just started shutting down.
Oh.
I crawled into myself
Mm,
and
okay.
out and away from the spotlight. And as extroverts, people are energy to us. Like
Yeah.
the more people are around, the more energy we have. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm like a baby raccoon. I have a lot of energy when I'm around a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay to be angry too. I was
Mhm.
angry for so long because I was angry at myself
Mhm.
because I wasn't able to figure out what was wrong with me.
Mm.
I was angry at the world for letting all this shit happen all at the same time.
Mm.
And I was angry at like the dumbest things, right? Like somebody would cut me off, and I live in the fucking country, really. Like it. I don't get cut off a lot, but if I get cut
Uh-huh.
off, I got like really pissed, like I wanted to take my shoe off and throw it out the door. But now what I do is if I'm really angry,
Mm-hmm.
I don't shut down. I let people know what's going on. I
Mm-hmm.
let people know that, hey, this isn't right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I also found out that my anger doesn't last for that long anymore. Like before, I would like stew and stew and stew on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it lasts about 20 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Because stewing in your own shit
Mm-hmm.
adds to that depression. It
Mm-hmm.
adds to that fear. It adds to all that negative self-talk that we do to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop doing that shit. Okay, the world's
Yeah.
treating us like shit as it is. Quit treating yourself like shit.
Yep. Yeah. I-
I'm serious. Like, instead of telling yourself, "Oh, you ugly piece of crap," be like, "Oh my
uh-huh.
god, I'm the most beautiful thing in the world." Right? Turn that negative into something positive, because what
Uh-huh.
it does is if you start doing that for 30 days, it becomes a habit.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to tell myself all the time, I'm like, God, I'm so fucking fat. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm short, I'm fat, I'm ugly. I'm okay. Maybe I am all those things, but you know what? I'm a human. I'm not perfect. I'm living my life to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just hope to God I wake up the next tomorrow morning. That's what
Yeah.
I hope for.
Yeah. And I think that that kind of self-talk is the greatest kind of self-talk, you know. And what was it? I spoke to Dr. Bruce Chalmer. If y'all haven't spoken to him on shit that goes on in our heads, y'all should get him on because he is a great couples therapist and stuff. And he actually talked about that same kind of thing, you know, like the stories that we tell ourselves are kind of what push us a lot of the time. And so he mentioned someone that she had a stroke and she lost part of her, I think it was the left hemisphere. And so she couldn't sit there and tell herself the story that pissed her off. So she wasn't able to get mad and or at least stew in that anger. And so whenever she regained control of her brain, like she could do it, but she was like, "Oh, that's something I was able to turn on and off this whole time. So why was I sitting there making myself more pissed off?" And it's like, yeah, we can sit there and let life happen. We can let shit occur, but we don't have to sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm going to get back to them, watch them because," and I know I'm bad at that too, you know.
I'm horrible at that. But something that my therapist taught me is like when you get into a frame of mind like that,
Hmm.
and if you're like maybe out and about, because I'm out and about all the time, is record a voice text. Just a voice, just record a voice message about what you're pissed off about.
Uh-huh.
Because once you start talking about it, now it's not in your head anymore, right? Now it's
Ooh.
someplace else. And
Uh-huh.
if you want to go back and listen to that later on, you can. I delete 90% of what I've like talked to myself.
Uh-huh.
But it's a great way to get it off your chest,
Hmm.
especially if you don't have somebody else to talk to right away, right? You
Yeah.
could be driving your car, you could be down in the city doing something,
Hmm.
you could be in your office, but like just pick up your phone and leave yourself a message.
Huh.
I mean, it
Huh.
helps
Yeah.
because now that I talked about it, then I can go back and try and figure out a solution for it.
Hmm. Ooh, I love that. And so you're not sitting there stewing in the problem, you're trying to figure out how to fix it.
Yeah,
And
now you're gotta fix it, right?
yeah.
Now you spilled your guts,
Uh-huh.
but how the fuck do you fix it, right? So
Yeah.
now you get that feeling out of your head, and now you get to like be like, okay, so this shit didn't work out, but maybe if I did this, this, and this, and this, and that's where a piece of paper comes in handy, right?
Hmm.
Like the pros, the cons, and the in betweens. Like I don't know if this is a pro or a con, but like I could try this. You
Uh-huh.
you could start doing things like that.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it makes you open up about it because
Hmm.
now it's not sitting in your core,
Uh-huh.
and you're not like doing that negative self-talk anymore. You're like, okay, now I'm in problem solving mode,
Yeah.
because when you're in problem solving mode, your brain's in a different place.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. And I mean, I also would have the kind of feeling of, whenever you first did the first couple of episodes of the podcast and you listen back to them and you're like, a little cringe. I kind of would imagine the same
So
thing.
fucking cringy, so cringy. But we still go back and listen to them, right?
Yeah, yeah, but you have that fresh perspective on listening to it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's like, so the same kind of thing with the anger note is like, oh, why was I mad at that in the first place? That like I was just really hungry that day, I guess.
Yeah. It kind of helps you triage that problem,
Uh
right?
huh.
Because if you're still sitting with it in your head, and let's say you're getting ready to go to bed, nobody wants to go to bed mad, okay?
No.
Because you don't get a good night's sleep.
Mm-mm.
So use your phone to the best of your ability.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down. Do something to get that thought out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Ooh.
once you do that, then you get to move to triage. Like,
Uh-huh.
okay, well, how am I going to fix this now, right? And
Yeah.
why am I so mad about this? Because it doesn't even involve me. And if you're an
Yeah.
empath, I am telling you, learn how to put your shields up faster. The
Mm-hmm.
faster you learn how to put up that shield, the better you're going to be. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I did. I have like this imaginary black box.
Uh-huh.
It's like this big.
Uh-huh.
Listen, if it has to pass like 3 tests before you can even get into that box.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first thing is, how's it going to affect you, right? Is it
Yeah.
going to put you in a bad mood? Is there going to be some more shit you need to put on your plate?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, is this like something I need to take on,
Mm.
or do I just need to be a friend?
Yeah.
Third, like, how's this going to help is this going to hurt or help my mental health? If it's going to hurt my mental health, that shit is it's never going to permeate that black box ever.
Yeah.
But, I had to learn that because, I'm
Mm-hmm.
approaching 63 now, and like, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, but I'm also very active on social media right now, especially
Mm-hmm.
through my company, about pointing out mental wellness within companies because
Mm-hmm.
companies forget that we're all mental beings, right? We all
Mm-hmm.
we all suffer burnout, we all suffer stress, we all
Yep.
suffer loss,
Mm-hmm.
and the companies need to put things in place for their employees so that they feel psychologically safe going to work. And
Mm.
I mean, it's hard. I just talked to a friend that had to open up to somebody at work, actually their HR team, and let them know that they have ADHD
Oof.
because
That's
they were getting called out on stuff at work.
mm.
And I
That's a
mean,
bummer.
it was a tough conversation, right?
Yeah.
And it's not something that we get super. It's kind of cringy, and you're like, I don't fucking think I want to do this. But
Mm-hmm.
listen, if you have to go to this job every day and you don't have something to fall back on,
Mm-hmm.
you need to get a little bit vulnerable, and
Mm-hmm.
you need to open your mouth.
Yeah.
And for all that time that I didn't say shit to anybody, now I apparently have diarrhea of the mouth and I can't shut up. But my message is clear: is
Uh-huh.
like, we are not broken. Okay,
No.
we are humans. We have brains that don't really like sometimes don't work the way we want them to work,
Mm-hmm.
but we all have the ability to speak up.
Yeah.
And if you still have that ability, talk it out.
Mm.
Just talk it out. Like, if
Yeah.
you don't have somebody, if you're not in crisis and you really need to talk it out, like, just talk on your phone. Pretend
Mm-hmm.
like you're talking to a friend. Just talk it out. Be like, okay, this is all bullshit. Don't, you know what? It depends on how much memory you have on your phone.
Uh-huh.
Go back and erase some of those. But be kind to yourself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as we were talking, is be kind to others, be kind to yourself, because that kindness, it reflects back on us
Mm-hmm.
and makes us stronger, right?
Yeah.
And I'm proud of what I've done, and I'm proud of the people that have come and asked me for a suggestion, or what they can do next. I'm not a therapist by trade. I just went through some really bad mental shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not highly recommended. Okay,
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah.
uh, it. But like, talk it out and be kind. All right,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead. It's okay to laugh, even if you're depressed. It's okay to laugh.
Yeah.
If you're depressed, it's okay to find joy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, like, joy for me is going outside. We live on 8.5 acres here in upstate New York.
Uh-huh.
All the animals are out now, right? So we've been seeing deer and fox and raccoons and the
Mm.
skunks, and I feel like the lesbian Snow White. But Um, that's the stuff that brings me joy is
Uh-huh.
actually being able to get outside. I live in upstate New York. We had a horrible, horrible, cold and snowy winter. I'm
Mm.
looking forward to spring. I am like counting down the days. But, you know, make it intentional and
Mm-hmm.
know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
The more vulnerable you are, the more you're going to see that people are going to want to help you.
Yeah.
But the more shut down you are, people aren't even going to realize that you're hurting.
Yeah.
So help yourself by opening up.
Yeah. Thank you for that message because it's something that I think everyone needs to hear and maybe even get reminders of sometimes. And I know that for myself, I always thought that being vulnerable was just meant that everything could hurt me. But I've come to find out that vulnerability is actually being willing to heal from everything that's hurt me. And
Yeah,
it's weird, but it's kind of like flipping that perspective on a simple word. And I mean, we can do that with the things that go on in our life. Kind of like how what you did with the Chat GPT and the 10 headline articles.
it's the best thing ever. I'm
Uh-huh.
telling you. I'll give you the prompt. It was super easy. It makes me laugh because you know what? I know I need to know what's going on in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but like I don't really need to know what's going on in the world because all it does is make me sad.
Mm-hmm.
But like those 10 little headlines, and if I decided something else I need to read more into, I'll go read more into it. But
Uh-huh.
those 10 little funny headlines, it's that's classic. And if you like, you know, this is how I start every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I started with 20 minutes of watching really funny, messed up videos of animals doing some
Uh-huh.
messed up shit. I feel bad for about 5 minutes after that. But then the very next thing I do, and I've been doing this since January 20th, 2025, is I state what I'm grateful for.
Mm.
And it could be the same thing 3 days in a row,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm grateful. I'm
Yeah.
grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that, you know, that small glimmer of hope that was sitting in the back of my head when I was getting ready to call 988
Mm-hmm.
came true because, like, the beauty of everything is life did get better. It
Yeah.
got far better than I ever anticipated that it would be.
Uh-huh.
And I just keep moving forward. And yes, I still have bad days, but I don't dwell on them as much as I used to. Like it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
sit in my stomach anymore because now people know that I'm going to be super vulnerable and tell people that I am not in a good headspace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? And if I told you to fuck off, it was probably because that's exactly how I felt at that moment.
Yeah. And I mean, it takes a lot of bravery to be able to even do that kind of like opening up, like, hey, you pissed me off and I don't want to talk to you right now, because a lot of us are the people pleaser kind of types, or at least myself, and
Raising my hand. I'm
and
guilty of that.
yeah, and it's super hard to be able to like self advocate sometimes. It's hard to stick up for oneself. But real quick, where can people find you and your wellness solutions if they're looking for your kind of help?
So if you're a company, a small business, a small to medium sized business, I do help large companies if they need it. You can reach out to me at shozersolutions.com.
Okay.
If you want to learn more about the Crazy Podcast, where all the crazy people hang out with me,
Hmm.
go to goesinOurhead.net.
Gotcha. Sweet. So we got those two links up there. And I mean, I just got to say, like, it's super amazing to have these kind of conversations because I wish that I had these kind of conversations growing up. I wish I had them just being able to even listen to, because it was one of those things that growing up in my household, I wasn't really allowed to feel a lot of different emotions. It was happy, angry, hungry, and horny. So I could be ha, but and that didn't leave a lot of room for the like actual deeper stuff that was actually really bothering me. And I'm still figuring some of those things out, but the thing is that I'm taking it one day at a time, and I've learned that each breath I take actually does make me into who I want to be. And unfortunately, for many, many years, I wanted to be dead. I wanted to not exist. I wanted to be someone else. I wanted to be somewhere else. I wanted to be anywhere but where I'm at. And it was just, I had to go through my own kind of shit to figure out that, hey, no, life is going to get better, but I had to change up the narrative a little bit. I had to get vulnerable. I had to let people know where I was at. I had to do this. I had to do that. And it's hard, but I mean, after that hard part is over, it gets so much better.
Oh yeah, man. Like as soon as when I hit rock bottom, that my
Hmm.
rock bottom was that call to 988.
Yeah.
Once I hit that, I knew I had to change. And
Yeah.
I did it for me. I didn't do it for anybody else.
Yeah.
You have, if you're going to change, you want to do it for you and
Hmm.
not for anybody else in this world.
Nope.
Do it for you.
Yep.
Like, take pride in what you've done for yourself.
Hmm.
And, just remember that you are loved, wanted, and needed in this world. And this world's a better place with you in it.
Yeah.
Don't think about checking out, right?
Mm-mm.
But always remember that, just putting one foot in front of another
Hmm.
and working through the steps or working through your program will get you to a place where you will look back on that and say, hey, look how much I've grown. And that's
Hmm.
what I do for myself every day.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for this journey. I am.
Uh-huh.
It hasn't been easy. It's been hard,
Hmm.
but I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
And like 3 years ago, I couldn't even say that to myself. Now I can say it. I'm fucking proud of myself.
Oh, man. And I mean, it's being proud of oneself is kind of one of those things that a lot of people tell us we shouldn't do. Like, you shouldn't be bragging about the things that you've done and what you've overcome and stuff. And I've come to find out that there's a very actual need to do that for at least oneself, not to sit there and like rub it in other people's faces like, oh, look at what I did, look at what I accomplished. But it is something that someone does need to find their self-worth and self-value, and to cultivate that self-belief that they are worth something, even if it is just for themselves. Because like you said, if we don't do our recovery for ourselves, if we don't try to get better for ourselves, it's not going to work.
That's right. It's not like do it for you. Like if you
Hmm.
love yourself enough, do it for you.
Hmm.
Do the shit that makes you happy, not everybody else.
Yeah.
And like set your boundaries now. Be
Hmm.
nice to yourself. Stop the negative self-talk.
Hmm.
If you're somebody that is seeing somebody else struggling, be nice to them,
Mm.
earn their trust, and see how you can help them. But
Yeah.
stop asking open-ended questions. Ask a question that we actually have to fucking answer.
So no more just, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, don't do that. Do something like, hey, what's really going on in your life?
Hmm.
Because then you have to open up, right? Now we have
Yeah.
to, now that switch kind of flips off in our head. We're like, oh, fuck, I really need to answer this. Like, what lie can I tell them today?
Uh-huh.
We have the lie filter. Like, yeah, I'm fine. Everything is great. Like, get the fuck away
Uh-huh.
from me. I'm gonna stab you with scissors again. But also knowing that you can set a boundary and you can step away from shit that does no longer serves you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
if that to me was one of the hardest lessons I learned was stepping
Mm.
away from things that no longer serve me because I would just do and
Hmm.
now I don't because like if it doesn't serve me and
Uh-huh.
it's just gonna piss me off, then I'm done.
Yeah. And I mean, that's one of those hard things to kind of get to the point of doing, right? Because it may mean losing friends, and it may mean losing what you thought you had built up. But really, if it's built on lies, then what good is it anyways, right?
Yeah, like just be good to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and just realize that people are rooting for you,
Mm-hmm.
and for the people that aren't rooting for you, fuck them. You know what? It's your life. It
Yeah.
really is. And like if you're willing to take that chance on yourself, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I look back what it was like for me 3 years ago, and it sucked balls. But now I
Yeah.
look at my life and I'm like, look how much I've grown.
Yeah.
So like even if you're if you're newly, or if you're new to being sobriety or new to mental health recovery,
Mm-hmm.
just know that it doesn't change overnight.
No.
But with time and patience, because you know what, you have to offer you know how we offer everybody else patience and grace, but we do that very little for ourselves.
Yeah.
Offer yourself patience and grace, because now you're going through some really hard shit,
Mm-hmm.
but just know it does get better.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to put the work in. Like, there's no
Yeah.
easy button, and I'm glad there's not an easy button, because I had to go through all the ghosts in my closet.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some that are sitting in there that may never, ever, ever come out,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with me now and
Yeah.
who I am and how I show up for myself and my friends and my family every day now.
Yeah. And that's the important part, you know? So, I mean, digging into oneself to become proud of where you're at and everything is super important. And I mean, you do raise a good point. It does not get better overnight. Like it will, whenever you look back at everything, it'll feel like a flash, but it'll also be like, wow, I really went through all of that for that long. But once you start getting better and noticeably better for yourself, like I know for me, whenever I could tell that, like, hey, recovery starting to work, like my brain started feeling different and my attitude started changing a lot. And it was like, oh, okay, so I don't actually hate life like I thought I did. Well, I did, and I had valid reasons for it at first, but life is not what I thought it was. It's not all doom and gloom, but it's actually a lot of like, for lack of a cliche, I guess, sunshine and sparkles, it is actually fun.
It is. And, giving ourselves permission to mess up and
Mm-hmm.
giving ourselves permission to be angry, but don't sit with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Giving yourself praise as you go through your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And and just know that, people love you. Whether you're an asshole or not, okay? People are still going to love us. But we have to be nicer and be vulnerable and be just be good humans. It doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot to be a good human.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, just try and find, like I said, just find something to laugh at every single day. It does help. It
Yeah.
really does. And
Yeah.
you know what? Every single one of us has shit that goes on in our heads. Every single one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the Pope. All right, I'm sure he's got shit that goes on in his head every single day.
Uh-huh.
But like, it doesn't take much. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, just keep checking in on people. Check on your friends. Check in on yourself. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't done that in a couple of days, check in and say, "Hey, how am I doing?"
Yeah. Yeah. Oof.
And it's really important.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder too. And I also do love how you brought up that like even the Pope may have bad thoughts because I know one of the struggles I always had growing up was like if I have a bad thought that means I'm a bad person. But I've come to find out that no, it's having the bad thought and acting on that bad thought that makes me a bad
Yes.
person. I'm free to have as many bad thoughts as I want, but I really should minimize them, but I minimize them by doing opposite actions. If I have a bad thought, then I just do the opposite of whatever that bad thought was. So,
And it works, right?
hmm
Like, do the things that make your heart smile. Okay?
yeah.
Because when you do things that make your heart smile, it makes all the other crap a little bit more
hmm
tolerable. And yes, I talk about stabbing people with scissors all the time. I've never stabbed a person ever with scissors. I'd be afraid. Like, don't run with them either, because you might like
Nope.
accidentally fall on them.
hmm
But just realize that like life is hard, but we can get through it. And the more open we are about what's going on with ourselves,
hmm
the better it gets.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, real quick, I did want to add something to your gratitude list kind of thing.
Hmm.
I've started trying to take 3 pictures a day of things that I'm grateful for. So, yeah.
So you know what you can do with those
What's that?
is on your phone. So this is my co-host Dirty Skittles came up with this. She has a joy folder on her phone, so it's
Huh.
pictures that bring her joy. And
Oh.
so I started doing that also. And so I
Uh-huh.
have a folder on my phone. It's pictures that bring me joy. So whenever I'm having a bad day, I go back and look at those joyful pictures.
Uh-huh.
And it changes the trajectory of what's going on in my mind.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to set one of those up after we get done with this call.
Yeah, and like if you're going having a bad day, you can just go back through and be like, oh, I remember this day, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
kind of like changes, it moves your mindset to
Mm-hmm.
something that that makes you happy
Yeah.
versus anger. And no, like I said, I'm not going to stab anybody with scissors. So that's the old me. New me is like, yeah, whatever.
You'll maybe take one of those LARPing swords to him, you know,
Yeah,
those foam swords.
I'm just gonna like be like, whatever. You know what? This shit bothered me 20 minutes ago. I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore.
Uh-huh. Fair
But
enough.
I just want everybody to be good to yourself.
Yeah.
Realize that you're not broken,
Mm-mm. Nope.
and that you're gonna be okay. But you have to put the time and the work in to make it happen.
Yeah. With that being said, do you have any advice for someone that feels like they're too tired to do that before we end this episode?
You're never too tired to take care of yourself, ever.
Mm.
So a simple like nighttime routine, maybe like 5 minutes of meditation. I can't fucking do it. I have ADHD. It's like 30 seconds and I'm like, oh, look, a fucking squirrel. But, you know, it's fucking true. Like, I don't care if anybody out there can tell me that I can meditate, like, good luck with that. Do something good for yourself before you go to sleep.
Mm.
Okay. Or if you're too tired, like, maybe recite something in the back of like, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I did my best. I did the best I could today.
Mm.
Right? That changes how you feel. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm tired, but like, I'm proud of myself. Listen, I got out of bed today. I
Mm-hmm.
brushed my teeth. I had some breakfast. I worked a little bit. I did some good things today. And
Yeah.
while life may be like kicking me in the balls every single second, I still did good things today.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Oh, I love that. I think that is something that everyone can do, and I know I'm going to have to do a little bit more of that myself too.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I started, 3 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
when I get into that place where I'm like, fuck, I just hate everybody. But listen, I did three good things for myself today. You know
Mm.
what? And it's okay to be humble and to, shout out your accolades. Just be humble when you do it,
Yeah.
and be thankful that you had that opportunity to do that, and be grateful that you had that ability to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oof. Okay. Well, I think that that's some great, powerful wisdom that we all should embody a little bit more, and it'll change our lives. And once we change our lives a little bit, it'll help affect those around us because I think happiness and joy are pretty contagious, you know? So,
They are, and like if anybody else wants to talk to me,
mhm.
just reach out to me on my social media. It has both email addresses. I offer a free 30-minute consult
Okay.
for my business
Uh-huh.
and for the podcast. Like, we are so booked with guests, it's nuts. But
Yeah.
very thankful that I get to do this and get to speak to you, Keegan. I
Yeah.
always love our conversations. So
Same here. And I did forget to introduce you as G-Rex. So,
G-Rex, Gretchen. You listen, the two names are synonymous. Depends. Like if I'm writing a business email, it's
mhm.
Gretchen. If
Uh-huh.
it's I need to be super snarky, just call me G-Rex. You know.
Fair enough. Well, G-Rex, it has been an honor and a pleasure having you back on the show, and I can't wait to speak to you again and just see what other awesome things that you do because you deserve everything that you've had come your way. And I mean, just thank you for helping other people see a light at the end of the tunnel. So,
Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
of course. And I mean, I'm looking forward to the future.
All
So,
right, buddy.
all right.
Stay out of trouble, kids. Stay out of trouble.
Yep. Or at least don't get caught, you know.
Or go make good trouble. You
Oh,
can make good trouble too.
yeah, that's a good idea. Good trouble. I'll have to ponder how that one works. But with that being said, everyone out there, thank you for listening to Guidance in Recovery. And on WDJY 99.1 FM. And as always, try to love yourself, love others if you can, but you got to try to love yourself first. Be your favorite version of yourself today if you can, and we'll see y'all in the future. But if you're having a mental health crisis, dial 988 for a person on the phone, or you can text 741-741 if you don't feel like talking, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. That being said, much love. Shalom. Awesome. And stop.